Moleman mode is an old-school RuneScape Iron Man story following a strange man who worships moles. He believes himself to be the one true son of Her Moliness, the giant mole, whom he has a tumultuous relationship with. Believing himself to be the avatar of moles and prophet to the one true goddess of Gielinor, the Moley spirit adheres closely to the way of the mole. He will only attack his foes by lashing out with his claws, or by hurling chunks of rock at them. He may only worship and call upon the use of prayers while underground, where he is closer to Her Moliness. And finally, he only dons equipment made from material which he first pulled from the ground or processed himself, for the rest is sacrilege. The Moley spirit does make exceptions to his doctrine, but only after achieving certain milestones within his pilgrimage to fulfill the prophecy and ascend to godhood himself. That's the idea behind Moleman mode. I've essentially created a character class within RuneScape. The rules are as follows. The Moley spirit does not purchase ores or bars from shops or gather ores from kingdom management. The Moley spirit only casts spells, creates tablets, and directs portals when that process includes earth runes. The Moley spirit only constructs POH furniture underground. The Moley spirit only equips claws and metallic thrown weapons in the weapon slot. Pickaxes can be equipped for mining. The Moley spirit only equips items in the head, body, legs, and shield slots acquired using mining and or smithing. The Moley spirit only equips jewelry acquired using mining and or smithing. The Moley spirit only equips mole slippers in the boot slot. And the Moley spirit only uses prayers and trains prayer while underground. Next are the milestones. The milestones each allow the Moley spirit to subvert his doctrine in unique ways to allow him to fulfill the prophecy. This ensures the goals have an impact and change the way the game is played. You can almost think of it like unlocking relics in leagues if you have played leagues before. The more of these milestones I achieve, the more my account will be able to do. The milestones we will be aspiring to along our journey include the mole slippers, the dragon pickaxe, an untrimmed mining skill cape, the rock golem pet, equipping a set of full rune armor within our account restrictions, the smithing skill cape, equipping a ring of stone within the account restrictions, the earth staff collection including the earth, dust, lava, and mud staves. We will be going for an adamant Trailblazer League trophy, the baby mole pet, and finally the dragon claws. The 0.5 milestones aren't required, but they, like the other milestones, grant unique boons should they be achieved. Basically, I have some required goals and some stretch goals. Now, without further ado, let us begin our early game adventure. While I was in Lumbridge, I took care of Cook's assistant, Sheep Shearer, and Ernest the Chicken. The Moley spirit continued his early game quest adventure in Rimington, where he triumphed in his first combat against a giant rat. Claws will be his preferred way to melee once he has them, but his fists will have to do for now. I had him burn the rat meat for the local witch to complete the witch's potion quest. This quest is oddly important to my account since it gets me level 4 magic. Normally you have access to Airstrike, but I can't cast Airstrike because it does not include Earth runes. That means we'll be casting the Confuse spell till level 9 when we gain access to Earthstrike. I then traveled north to Dork's humble smithy to begin Dork's quest. I was issued a warning that my mining skill was not high enough to complete the quest. No worries, Dork. My mining will become much higher than the modest level 15 that is needed to complete your quest. We'll headed east in search of some ore for Dork's quest. The Moley spirit spotted a dwarf cannon. The mole man marveled at the machine. He knew that one day this machine would be of great service to him. In Varrock West Mine, I started by mining some clay. It seems level 1 mining is entirely underleveled for mining clay to be efficient. But do not fear, for I quickly achieved level 2 mining. 2 down, only 97 levels to go. Desiring to go to Varrock East Mine, but lacking the patience to go around, I braved the Dark Wizards. I narrowly survived, taking 2 water strikes from the Dark Wizard. Level 3 mining. Mining copper is much more efficient. Level 15 mining. Let's grab some iron ore and turn in Dork's quest. Already level 19 mining. They grow up so fast. Returning to Lumbridge, I grinded out 10 fishing shrimps, a requirement for the fishing contest quest. I also gained some cooking levels, frying the shrimps on the cook's range. While on the shrimping scene, I noticed a nearby quest. This was the Misthalin mystery quest. My account was able to abide by his restrictions up until the very end, where I was required to equip the killer's knife to complete the quest. I tried to fight the antagonist Abigail without equipping it, to which my character said, "I'm not going at her empty-handed." So this quest, for my character, was dead in the water. Situations like this beg the question, for experienced players, what good restrictions like this are, not being able to equip a one-off item for a quest just because it isn't a pickaxe or a pair of claws. For these ultra-obtuse situations, I plan to unlock what I've dubbed as pilgrimage slots as I achieve certain milestones. An unlocked pilgrimage slot allows the Moley Spirit to equip any compulsory or required equipment intermittently for the completion of quests, such as the weapon slot or the amulet slot. You do a lot of walking in the early game, so getting some agility seemed logical. I no-clipped over White Wolf Mountain to get to the Tree Gnome stronghold on the western half of the map to begin training my agility. Level 20 would suffice for now, but next, the unthinkable happened. So, I started the fishing contest quest to make traversing White Wolf Mountain safe, and I was getting the red vine worms you need for the quest in the Grubber's Wood, and I got mauled to death by a guard dog. If Moley Spirit was a hardcore Iron Man, his hardcore journey would have ended here. Bless his soul. Since I got humbled back to Lumbridge, I decided to continue my agility adventure to level 30 at the Al-Kharid rooftop agility course. From there, I wasted no time getting level 40 in Varrock. It was at this point I learned you could use the Ferox Enclave to get to Castle Wars, so I wouldn't have to peril White Wolf Mountain again. While I was out west, I thieved some pastries in Ardoyne until level 20 thieving, which will help us survive some more early game quests. I walked north through Seer's Village to complete Murder Mystery, granting me level 12 crafting, which will help me complete some of my first beginner clue scrolls. Beginner clues will be very important for achieving my first milestone for the account, the Mole Slippers. While in the area, I found my redemption, evading the guard dogs at my Grubber's Wood, completing fishing contest. Then, I fished up to level 20 fishing in Catherby. This will also help with the requirements for beginner clues. While I was still questing, I took care of a very special quest for my account. The Death Plateau quest unlocks the ability to smith claws, along with gifting you a free set of steel claws, and some free early attack levels. From the moment I had these equipped, I got to work butchering the nearest NPC to get some training in. Now that I had a suitable weapon, I was looking for some armor to match. Remember, the Moley Spirit can only equip items in the head, body, legs, and shield slots made using mining and/or smithing. In other words, I was gonna need some smithing levels to get some armor. I can't just buy it like a normal account. So I braved the Asgarnia Ice Dungeon to mine some blue-rite ore to recreate the Knight's Sword, completing the titular quest. With my newly gained smithing levels, I smithed myself a set of pseudo-guard armor in the form of a bronze medium helmet and an iron chain body. I would then equip this armor to infiltrate the Black Knight's Fortress on behalf of the White Knights and complete the Black Knight's Fortress quest. Casting Confuse on the local guards, I leveled my magic to level 9. I did this to unlock my new big gun spell, Earth Strike. I need to start completing some bigger quests to gain some more combat levels on the account. It's normal for experienced players on low-level accounts to power through quests intended for higher levels using safe spotting and low-level magic. So I did that for the Tree Gnome Village and Grand Tree quests. Normally around this time, people use the same method for the Fight Arena quest, but I can't equip the Khazard armor needed to complete this quest, as it is not made with mining and or smithing. People also cheese many of their early game combat levels from the Waterfall quest, but I can't complete the Waterfall quest because I can't equip Glariel's amulet. With my strict weapon slot restriction, I can't equip staves to autocast my earth spells. That means for Moley Spirit, all of his earth strikes will be cast by hand. A big investment in the future of this account is the dig site quest. First, the quest is a prerequisite quest for the Bon Voyage quest, which unlocks access to Fossil Island, home to the volcanic mine, one place where a dragon pickaxe can be found. However, to complete Bon Voyage and access Fossil Island, I need to be able to equip leather boots, which my account cannot, as for now I am strictly locked to wearing mole slippers. Regardless, the dig site quest will let me skip some early mining levels, but it has some requirements of its own. First, I had to unlock the herb lore skill, so I completed Druidic Ritual. I further required level 10 herb lore, so I got some more levels with Jungle Potion. I then stole from the tea stall in Varrock from level 20 to 25 thieving, meaning the last requirement to complete the quest. While completing the dig site quest, I got my first ever experience random. I'm not sure what I'll put my lamps on yet, but I know that is like a signature of Snowflake accounts, so I'll give it some thought. And that's the dig site complete, with level 33 mining to boot. Since I was already working with the museum, I decided to knock out the natural history quiz for some free hunter and slayer levels. I was pleased to have found that the curators had acquired a great idol to her Moleyness herself. This left the Moley spirit contemplating how he may one day master his thieving, so he may appropriate this holy relic for himself. For my next act, I smithed myself an iron full helmet and rushed into Draenor Manor, slaying Count Draenor, lifting Draenor village of his vampiric scourge. Completing this quest also boosted my attack level to 40, meaning I meet the requirement to wield a rune pickaxe in advance of having the mining level to use one. Next, I completed the X Marks the Spot quest, which is like a tutorial for clue scrolls. The quest awards you a free beginner clue scroll. This will be Moley Spirit's first beginner clue of many, seeing as the chance of getting a pair of mole slippers from one is roughly 1 in 180. My first step is a Charlie the Tramp step. Charlie the Tramp asks for an item from a list of low-level items, which I've been building the requirements to easily obtain. My second step is to talk to Hans in Lumbridge. Easy peasy, if only the home teleport spell included earth runes. And for my first casket, well, let's just hope that's not the game trying to tell me something. Seeing many beginner clues in my future, I rescued Prince Ollie, completing Prince Ollie Rescue to make using the Alcarid Gate duty-free. Wishing not to lug these experience items around anymore, I saved up to purchase my POH from the estate agent so I could put my experience lamps in construction. I did this because, as far as I could tell, this was the only skill I'm currently completely unable to train, as I can only build POH furniture underground, and you can't build stairs to access the POH basement until level 27. With my inventory cleared of dusty books and lamps, I took the opportunity to complete Priest in Peril to access Canifis. Canifis contains my current best agility course, and getting some marks of grace for some weight-reducing gear seemed like a worthwhile investment. I reached level 50 agility and obtained enough marks of grace for quote-unquote full graceful, that being 70 marks for only the gloves and the cape, as per my restrictions, I can't wear any of the other pieces. With my newly acquired graceful, I decided to do a couple more quests. I took to completing the Corsair Curse and Below Ice Mountain quests. I completed Below Ice Mountain mole style, defeating the Ancient Guardian by mining the pillars with my pickaxe, crushing it with debris. Having that alternative to fighting the monster directly is a really nice touch on this quest. One thing that fight demonstrated plainly is I am overdue for a pickaxe upgrade. I'm still using my bronze pickaxe from Tutorial Island. So I braved the Stronghold of Security for my free 10k GP and invested that money in my first pickaxe upgrade from Nermoff's Pickaxe Shop, an adamant pickaxe. Having completed Doric's quest and the dig site earlier, my account has already outgrown traditional RuneScape mining. I set to work training my mining pay dirt, and Motherlode Mine. This will be among my chief methods all the way to level 99. Look, Motherlode Mine even has its own mole. It did not take long at all to achieve level 41 mining. I now meet all the requirements to equip and utilize a rune pickaxe. I now just need to find 32k GP to purchase one. The agility pyramid is a good moneymaker, and strengthening my agility is good overall for my account, having a limited capacity to teleport around the game normally, only being able to cast spells that include earth runes. Investing in a high agility will also pay off in the distant future, seeing as I one day will be chasing the giant mole around her tunnels. So I ventured into the Caridian Desert, taking my account with 17 hit points and 50 agility over the agility pyramid. I was very pleased to have been able to conquer the pyramid 5 times, scoring 50k GP in just one trip, enough for a rune pickaxe and some change. I don't have any teleports with me, so I fled the desert on foot. I was definitely feeling the low hit points utilizing that method, so for my next act, I earthstriked and pastryed my way through the Witch's House quest, advancing my hit points from 17 to 27. Ever since I did Below Ice Mountain, it may appear as though I became sidetracked from my goal of completing beginner clue scrolls to working on my mining skill. Mole Slippers and the mining skill cape are both among the milestones for this account, so I'm laying the groundwork for both of them and slowly alternating between working on them as a palate cleanser. That said, let's get back to doing some beginner clues. The best method I came up with for gathering beginner clues right now is murdering goblins in Lumbridge. I haven't showed this off yet, but my account can only use prayers and train prayer while underground. That means for low-level prayer, I am carrying my bones from murdering goblins into Lumbridge Castle basement and burying them there. I love this restriction on my account because the Wilderness Altar is so powerful that it made its use compulsory for non-hardcore accounts to train prayer. This restriction means I can't use the Wilderness Altar, so I can resort back to the old school methods. Let's do some more beginner clue scrolls, shall we? Beginner number 2. Beginner number 3. Unfortunately, on step 3 of my 4th beginner clue, Charlie the Tramp asked me for some leather chaps, meaning I need to finish level 18 crafting to obtain them. To give myself a nudge, I started the recipe for Disaster Quest, and cooked the Slop of Compromise to complete the Goblin General subquest. I then murdered some cows, tanned their hides, and finished off level 18 crafting for some leather chaps for Charlie. I gave Charlie the chaps, and... my first beginner unique, a Gothic scimitar ornament kit. That's kind of fitting. I can't use scimitars, but the way of Gothics is perhaps the closest to the way of the mole. My 5th beginner treasure trail made for my first failed clue scroll. There are 38 unique beginner clue tasks, 2 of which I can never do. I cannot do this clue because I can't equip a chef's hat. I soon got another clue scroll though, and was able to obtain my 5th beginner casket. No uniques this time. Feeling whelmed by the pace the beginners were coming in, I decided to work on some more mining. As promised before, I snagged myself that rune pickaxe. Now shredding through pay dirt at Motherlode Mine, I quickly achieved level 50 mining. Not long after, I had enough gold nuggets to be able to afford the Prospector hat. Feels very Moley. A time later, I got my hands on the Prospector jacket. I cut myself off at 61 mining for now, unlocking the ability to utilize the Dragon Pickaxe. It feels respectful to the prophecy to wait until I obtain the Dragon Pickaxe before continuing my mining adventure. Researching beginner clues more, I learned there is one emote step which my account technically can do, but I do not yet meet the requirements for. That is to blow a raspberry at Eris in her tent, equipping a gold ring and a gold necklace. My account is allowed to equip this jewelry if he acquires it himself utilizing mining and or smithing. That means I need to mine the gold ore and smelt the gold bar before I can craft the jewelry for it to count as equipable, aka I need 40 smithing. So, I did Elemental Workshop Part 1 and Elemental Workshop Part 2, advancing my smithing to 36 and my crafting to 32. Fun fact, mined helmets and elemental shields are both equipable for my account. I also took care of the Dwarf Cannon quest while I was out here. It will be a long time before the Moleman can afford such a glorious machine, but with this quest, he can train his smithing making cannonballs today if he wants to. And so he did. To finish off 40 smithing, I broke my pact not to continue mining, entering the mining guild for the first time, and I mined loads of iron ore, hitting 62 mining. I took this iron along with my coal from Motherlode Mine, and without a coal bag, I smelted steel bars using the smelter in Falador, of all places, and smelted myself my first 1,000 cannonballs to obtain 40 smithing, and crafted myself an equipable gold necklace and gold ring. Now, with no excuses left, let's do some more beginner clues. What the fuck? What is that? What? What the fuck? Dude, look at that.
You're a mole.
Let's fucking go, dude. If you're still here, thank you for taking a chance on my video. I love unique RuneScape accounts. I've watched creators make content on them, and so I figured I'd try my hand at it. For me, it's more about the joy of playing the account as opposed to content creation. I've actually recorded so many clips and have put off editing for so long that my computer has run out of disk space. So I have plenty of content ready to ship. I'm just an amateur at editing, so it takes me longer than it should. Moley Spirit is unconventional compared to what is popular in the Snowflake account scene today. The closest comparison I can draw is to Caveman.Ɂ, so shout out to him for the inspiration. This account has a lot of rules layered on top of one another, and I know that puts me at a disadvantage in terms of creating digestible content, but I also know we play a very convoluted game. In future videos, I'll just flash the rules and milestones at the beginning, and you can pause if you wish to review them. You'll also find them in the description of each video. As the account milestones are reached, I have given them named abilities that are thematic to each achievement. It's a risky idea because it consumes brain cells, but it has made the account more fun to play. It means cosmetic rewards like mole slippers or the mole pet have tangible benefits for my account that change gameplay as I progress. I'll save explaining the benefits of obtaining the mole slippers for the start of the next video. See you there.